Learn to love the salt. Love it.
Well, I understand that even though a lot of people treat the game almost as a full release right now,
Yeah.
it's still technically not released yet, and there's a whole lot more to come. Talk to us a little bit about what's in store.
So we have, our focus at the moment is to sort of stabilize the game, get the servers up to spec, but also we have, 2D, 3D replays planned for in-game replays. We have new weapons coming every month. So yeah, but our current focus is really just get the game competitive and stable.
So suddenly fences are no longer the most impossible object in the game. You can climb over them.
Yeah. So our content programmer Marek, he's done a really great job getting this system to be dynamic. So it doesn't matter what object you're in front of, you'll jump or vault over it.
Yeah, so in terms of jumping and vaulting, is it... yeah, vaulting. Is it sort of, when you say that it's dynamic, does this mean that the taller the obstacle, the more difficult it is to climb over?
Yeah, exactly, and it has different animations for each different thing, so vaulting, climbing. Now we also have weather, so.
One of my favorite aspects, of course, is the rain map in the game. Walk me through what we're seeing here.
So this is our new weather settings. This is fog. You just saw a clear day. Our rain has been tweaked a little bit as well, and we also have our sunset coming in. So this really, I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's quite beautiful. Yeah.
And what is the impact on gameplay of these types of things with weather?
It just changed dynamic. Oh, so this is...
Oh, a new gun.
Yes. This is the OTS Groza. It's a 7.62 bullpup, super powerful, crate only. Yeah, it's going to be a beast.
Is it a short range, long range? Where's
short to medium, it's going to be a beast. It's going to be super powerful. Yeah. And then long range, it'll work as well.
And I remember before you came on the show, I asked, why did you put that gun in? And I think your answer was...
Just looks cool.
It looks cool.
Yeah. It's like we wanted to add a bullpup and we wanted to add something else to the 7.62 class. And this is a Spetsnaz weapon. It just looks great.
It looks cool. As good as a reason as any, honestly. I want to come back to the weather effects. Obviously, they look beautiful. What are some of the impacts that you've seen on the gameplay with the new weather effects?
Well, it's just going to change the way you play. So it's not necessarily going to be, you're going to be sniping all the time. You know, with the foggy weather, you're going to have to choose a more kind of CVQ type play style. But it's just, again, to give you a bit of variety and make every game kind of different.
You've talked a little bit about what we've seen in the video, but talk to me about long term. What's far down the line for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds?
So again, we want to finish out the platform and make it a good platform for all kind of game modes. You know, we will have modding down the line as well. Yeah, and it's just creating a stable platform. That's our aim here.
I understand that you're also working on new maps.
Yeah, so we have 2 new maps coming, one based in Peru, a desert map with sort of ruined cities, with sandstorms and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then this other one in the Adriatic, so it has even a ruined cosmodrome in the center of the map with like snowfall, and I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that you've been super involved with the community of regular players. What's in store for those people playing the game right now?
So as I said, we have our custom games. We have the 3D replays, which I'm really excited about because it allows you to watch your match back in the engine with a free cam and slow motion and stuff like that.
Which is great for content creators.
Exactly, right? So you can
content creators, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll just give you a new way to create like machinimas and stuff like that within the game.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to bring up, because you were mentioning this a lot before you came on, you have all sorts of stability and performance fixes incoming.
Yeah, so like our focus this month is on our server performance and really getting that stable, because at the moment the servers aren't performing the best they could. But you know, so last month our team's focus was on client performance, and we improved that broadly for a lot of people. And this month it's on server, so they've already found a lot of things to fix, and I'm excited.
That's great. I'm sure players will completely stop blaming anything on the game at that point.
Right.
They will accept responsibility for those losses then. Well, to PlayerUnknown himself, Brendan, thank you so much for coming out to talk about it. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
As we get ourselves set up for the next game, we're going to head to the mezzanine with Sonia for a little bit of a giveaway.
Thank you, Sean. Sean is pretty cool, right? But you know what's a little bit cooler? A free PC. We're going to be giving away a badass PC from our friends at Intel. This bad boy is going to be rocking an i7 7700K processor. There's a lot of 7s in there, and it's going to be running a NVIDIA GTX 1080. It is worth more than $2,500, so if you want a chance to win, head over to PCGamingShow.com/giveaway and put in your information. Good luck, and back to you, Sean.
Thank you, Sonia. And I am pretty cool, right? Jesus, thanks, audience. Woo! I didn't realize you could pinpoint the exact time and date died.
So stay tuned on that.
That's awesome. Now, the big thing I know you wanted to talk about today was a little bit of content coming down the line for your big game, Killing Floor 2. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when we released Killing Floor 1, one of the things that really put us on the map was our time seasonal events.
Right.
And when we released Killing Floor 2, people were always clamoring and asking, well, when are you guys going to do that for Killing Floor 2?
Reasonable enough.
Well, we're super happy to announce the Summer Sideshow coming out this year.
Well, I'm eager to show everyone this footage. This trailer makes me laugh every time. Let's go ahead and take a look at Killing Floor 2's Summer Sideshow.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tragic Kingdom Amusement Park. Come on down and play Find Mini Pukey, Feed the Pound, Dunk the Float, and Pop the... What? Was that a real head? Trade for festive clown makeup, colorful hats, and dozens of other items. Carnival rewards are only available for a limited time. See the adorable pinhead and marvel at the mighty strong pound. Oh, what is wrong with him? Hear the bearded beauty, the siren from Fiji. I think I'm gonna be sick. Backed by popular demand. Come see Pukey the Clown and the Monkey Man. Why does the monkey have a chainsaw? Find romance in the Tunnel of Love. Swing on the Queen of Chains. Look at the... Ow! Scream on Pound Mountain. Oh, but that's not safe. See the death-defying fire spells of Dr. Infernum's Pyrotechnic Emporium! Oh, is he actually on fire? Why is that person on fire? Earn new achievements and triumph the new HE-12 shotgun and tactical lever-action rifle! Why do you need a shotgun at a carnival? I don't care, it's unlockable! Why does the carnival cleanup crew need hazmat suits? No, I'm done! This is a horror show! I'm getting out of here! If you can hear this, run!
Warning. New Z outbreaks and variant Z behavior detected. Be alert for new challenges, modes, and threats in the weekly outbreaks.
I mean, I know it's a horror theme, but there's some great humor in this.
Oh, yeah. Seasonal events are definitely the most fun to work on. It's just, we can just go crazy and go goofy. We got clowns.
You got the monkey
clowns,
that bangs the cymbal with a chainsaw instead.
Midgets on stilts, bearded ladies. We got it all.
Tell me a little bit about what is the gameplay? What's some of the stuff that people can experience in the Summer Sideshow?
So it's a limited time event. It's only going to last for 1 month. So all this crazy stuff you're seeing here, it's 1 month. Yeah. And there's over 50 cosmetic items that people can gain from playing it totally free. All the Zeds have been replaced. All the voices have been redone. We also have mini games that are, thrown out throughout the map.
Yeah, I saw the carnival games right at the start of the trailer.
Yep. We've also got 2 new weapons that we're introducing. And we also have this other mode that we're really excited about. It's the weekly outbreak.
Yeah, I saw the
mode.
weekly outbreak at the end of the trailer. What's the weekly outbreak about?
So each week, new gameplay mode comes out with new challenges for the player. We have one, it's starting out with Cranium Cracker, and that's a headshot only mode. And
so no damage unless it's headshot.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have another one called Tiny Terror, where every time you shoot a Zed, they actually shrink. They become like little midget Zeds, which is really crazy. And whenever the players get hit, they shrink too.
Oh, really?
So, that's just 2 of them. We have 8 total, and it's over 2 months worth of content. And if they're really hard to beat, but if you beat it, you get really cool, precious items and stuff like that.
So, of course, I have to ask, when can people play it?
Actually, you can play it tomorrow. And it's free on Steam all week.
Easy.
Yep. So you got no excuse not to try it.
Well, what if people are here at E3?
Oh, well, they can play here too.
Oh boy, that was
tomorrow.
a setup on my part.
Right.
Yeah, whereabouts is it at on the E3 floor?
That's at the PC Gamer Show.
Oh, that's right. It's at
Yep.
the PC Gaming Show booth. We have our own booth here at E3.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad that 2 of you are
Yeah.
very excited to hear that.
The first of many, right? This is going to
Yes.
become a tradition.
Indubitably.
Yeah.
I'm not in charge of the budget, so yes, of course. Well, I want to say, Bill, thank you so much for coming out. Congrats
Absolutely,
on
man.
all the projects and the progress. Bill Monk from Tripwire
Thanks, Ben.
Interactive.
Thank you.
Cheers. Let's head back up to the mezzanine for a little bit of social with Sonya.
This year's PC Gaming Show is being broadcast on more platforms than ever before. We are on Steam, we are on Facebook and Twitch and Mixer. We are all over the place. This is awesome. And guys, if you're on Mixer, you gotta sweet talk the mods a little bit. Be kind of nice to them because they're gonna be giving away games throughout the entire show. Unfortunately, no free games for day 9, but sorry. Back to you, Sean.
I'll happily buy them. Yay, video games! Now, if any of you got the chance to see the conferences leading up to today, there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. In particular, Microsoft has had a whole slew of games people are pumped for, including some that are going to be at this show, starting with the first ever incarnation of Forza Motorsport coming straight to PC. It's Forza Motorsport 7. Joining me to talk about it is the creative director of Forza Motorsport from Turn 10, Bill Giese. Come here, Bill.
How's it going?
Yeah, Bill, congratulations.
Thank you.
The announcement yesterday must have been really exciting for you guys.
Huge announcements. We revealed a car to the world.
Not an in-game car,
No,
car.
an actual car. That's normally saved for car shows like Geneva and Paris.
Yeah.
We revealed a car here at E3, the Porsche 911 GT2 RS, to the world yesterday. It was awesome.
You know, I've gotten the chance to play the previous Forza Motorsport games, and they always struck me as a racing game not focused on being cartoonish or strapping guns to the car. It's about hyper-realistic racing.
Forza Motorsport is about precision, it's about competition, and we've rebuilt Forza Motorsport 7 from the ground up to really recreate that feeling of driving a car at peak. The cars, we have over 700 cars. Every single one of them, they're going to rattle and shake. It's going to scare the crap out of you.
What are some of the things that you've done to bring that experience to PC?
Well, going to PC has been awesome. Not only will it have mouse and keyboard support, but with multi-USB, we have every fan-requested wheel on the market. And it's been exciting for the team.
That's a lot of USB
It's a lot
devices.
of wheels, let me tell you. And we've been testing that. Last week alone, we brought in any USB device we had, and we played on a Guitar Hero guitar and a DDR pad. Now, you're not going to do that, obviously.
That's not how real racing works. That's not the hyper-realistic part.
But whatever you have in your closet, plug it in, you're ready to go.
Now, what about for low-end PCs? There's obviously a lot of people who are on budget devices. I mean, what about for them? What's the optimization been like?
Well, it's been great. Going to the high end of 4K, unlock frame rate, 21:9, but we've also lowered our min spec as well to include i5. And no matter where you play, it looks and plays great.
And speaking of looking and playing great, you're here at E3, and I understand you have some out-of-control rigs that people can actually play the games on.
Absolutely. Come by the show. We've got 2 hydraulic rigs in 4K on ultra 4K PCs.
Hydraulic rigs? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, bring a vomit bag and come on, check it out. It looks awesome.
Well, awesome. Bill, thanks so much for sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I'm incredibly excited of all the stuff Microsoft's doing. You just got the chance to look at Forza, and now coming onto the stage, I am replacing Bill with Ted Timmons. He's the PC design lead at Rare to talk about Sea of Thieves. Come on out, Ted.
Hey, Sean.
Ted Timmons.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. It's a pleasure. So, Ted, talk to me a little bit about what is Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, so we feel like we've made the pirate game you've always wanted. When you think about sailing around the open seas, you and your crew of crewmates, basically it's Pirates of the Caribbean meets the Goonies.
What are some of the things that you're showcasing here at E3 in the game?
Yeah, so for anyone who didn't see the briefing yesterday, we showed off great new features like riddle map storms and firing yourself out of cannons.
Or a common pirate pastime.
Yeah, pretty known.
Now, I had to ask the same question to Forza Motorsport. What are some of the things, some of the features that you've added in to focus on the PC experience?
Yeah, so we've got things like 4K, unlocked frame rates, everything you expect, but we've also brought our gameplay footage in 21:9 as well, my personal favorite.
Your favorite resolution, one of the top 3 favorite resolutions
Yeah,
of
it's probably
yours?
there with 32:9 and 16:9 as well, probably.
So, tell me a little bit more about the PC version. Obviously, it's probably a challenge to try to develop for 2 different devices at once.
Yeah, so we decided to change our approach to the game. We're actually building both versions in parallel because we felt that's how we deliver the same game on the same day.
So it's not a port from one device to the other?
Correct, yeah. We felt it was really important just to build them together from the very beginning.
Just one single code path?
One single code path, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know a whole lot of people here are curious to get their chance to play it. Is there an official release date or an opportunity for them to play it?
Yeah, so we're coming to both platforms in early 2018, but right now we have a technical alpha. You're welcome to come sign up. We have thousands of PC players playing already. So yeah, come join us, seaofthieves.com.
Once again, Ted Timmons.
Awesome. Thank you very
from
much.
Rare. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
SeaOfThieves.com. Now, this next title is one I'm personally very, very excited about, given the fact that when I took one look at the trailer, the striking visual style just grabbed me. It's an evolution of cyberpunk, a game called The Last Night. Here to talk about it is the creative director at Odd Tales. Join me in welcoming Tim Sauret.
Hello,
Pleasure,
Sean.
Tim.
Hello.
Welcome.
Pleasure for me.
Thanks for coming out. Let's ask the obvious question. What is The Last Night?
The Last Night is what we call a cinematic platformer, which means it's not a game like Mario where you have to jump from platform to platform, but it's more story-driven. It's more reminiscent of old classics like Another World, Flashback, or Oddworld even.
Oddworld, I was going to say, it reminded me quite a bit about it. And I saw that you guys had the big announcement reveal at Microsoft yesterday. I mean, that trailer was such a hit. It blew up. What was that like for you guys?
Yeah, we are obviously super happy with the trailer reception. It's been absolutely incredible. Now, of course, I have some concerns I want to address. I am embarrassed by some tweets I made in the past. I want to apologize for those. They do not in any way represent who I am today or what The Last Night will be about.
Well, let's talk about what the game is about. I know that the setting of The Last Night is super important to the character of the game. Tell me, where are we right now?
I want you to imagine a world where machines are surpassing us in every possible way.
Right.
So not only physically, but also intellectually, emotionally, even creatively.
So in a sense, like any job that you could possibly imagine, an AI does better.
Absolutely.
Including being a host for a PC gaming show.
Including that.
Well, I imagine, thank you, this one person who is also excited about the booth. Now, in terms of this world, this must give a kind of sense of existential crisis to all the inhabitants.
Yeah, like the way I can...
What is it like to be a person in this world?
So, in a world where you're not valuable anymore in production,
Yeah.
the only thing you can really do is to consume endlessly, right? So what we're trying to see with this game is how do you define yourself, when you don't have anything to create or to strive for.
Yeah, and I can see, obviously there's the futuristic lighting and the visuals, but there's also that sort of drab, dreary tone. This art style is amazing. I mean, all of these assets are in 2D, but it has so many modern effects. How did you even think of this?
So it all comes down to my background in VFX and advertising, basically. So I wanted to, explore what I could do with 2D and pixel art, and just augment that and enrich it with modern techniques of lighting and compositing.
Right. And we've talked a little bit about where we are, about the art style. Who are you? Who do you play as in The Last Night?
Yeah, so the character you get to play is a young idealist, I would say.
Yeah.
And because of a childhood accident, he cannot enjoy the same gamified, augmented life than everybody else.
Right.
So because of that, he wants to change the world. And
you want to have an impact and a meaning.
Yeah, absolutely. So on his way to do that, he's going to meet some questionable characters you have to trust or not on your way.
What about the gameplay? What are the things that, if I'm the player, what do I do in The Last Night?
So we took inspiration from some classic genre like point and click and adventure games.
Yeah.
But so you get, to solve puzzles and dialogues, of course. But we added a real-time component to it.
Real-time in what sort of sense? What makes it a real-time puzzle?
So it means that, while you are busy breaking in an apartment, for instance, all the simulation is still happening around you. So police come around, and you have to be careful about that.
So in a sense, like, if I tried to break into the apartment at night, the police might be on patrol at that time, but if I came in the morning, there might be no police, but the resident might be home.
Absolutely, yeah. So that means that, if you see the police coming around the corner, you better, just hide, pretend to be a hobo, or maybe draw your gun.
You also mentioned that the structure of the game is in one night after the other. What's that like?
Yeah, so the game is structured around several nights, so it spans on several nights, and they are all interconnected, which means that what you tell people on the very first night, and what you do also is all remembered.
So if I'm just in a conversation, just walk away in the middle of it?
Yeah, they will remember it.
They'll remember, like 2 days later, they'll be
absolutely.
angry.
Yeah.
That's fast. That must add a huge amount of replayability since the world is just changing based upon
Yeah,
your
we're taking a lot
inputs.
of pleasure to hide a lot of stuff in the city, and we hope the community will have fun to figuring that out collectively. So, yeah.
Well, again, I love the art style. I love these story-driven adventure games. Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you, Sean.
I'm looking forward to it. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Once again, that's oddtales.net for more information about The Last Night. Now, this next game surprised me. I'm sure it will surprise you because of its style. It's from the makers of Arma, the realistic military simulator, and DayZ, the zombie survival game. This one has a much more playful tone, though. Let's look at the next title from Bohemia Interactive.
It was the mother of all storms. But somehow I just knew everything was going to be... Well, being stranded on a desert island is a lot of fun. You get to meet new friends. You get in shape. And you learn how to craft. And because it's your land, it won't take long before you call that place a home. But that's just the beginning, because here, you can do anything. Islands. Explore your creativity. Visit us at islands.com.
Here to join me to talk about Islands is the creative director from Bohemia Interactive. It's Alish Ulm. Welcome, Alish. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Sean.
What kind of game is Islands?
Okay, so Islands is a sandbox game about survival and exploration, but at the same time, in Islands, you can create your own games, your own adventures, just like the ones we've shown in the video. Yeah. Actually, Islands stands for your lands, lands that you create where you make the rules.
And it's almost like a sandbox game, not where you're necessarily building a structure, but you're trying to build an experience.
Yes, exactly.
And I have to ask, given the fact that the style of it contrasts so sharply with Arma and DayZ, what is it about Islands that still makes it a Bohemia game?
Yeah, we get this a lot, but actually beneath the surface, there are still the core values that make up a Bohemia game.
Yeah.
It's still about exploration and finding out how things work, about creativity and imagination. And just like Arma or DayZ, we're trying to create a platform to connect players with each other when they play online or when they create something new and share it with the community.
And I know that modding is a legendary part of Bohemia's history. What are some of the lessons that you've learned from Arma, learned from DayZ, and brought to modding in Islands?
Well, we have our own editor. It's not a standalone application. It's a part of the game.
Oh, really? I mean, I'd assume that it was just outside all other editors.
No, we would like players to be able to prototype their creations really quickly.
Yeah.
And so in the editor, the players can obviously create something new, but they can also decide to open and modify existing games, ones that we created or ones that other players made for them.
Yeah, I mean, we got the chance to see some scenarios in the initial trailer. Like, those are the ones that you're referring to.
Yep.
That is fantastic. I mean, tell me a little bit about what it is that we're seeing right here on screen.
Well, this is just some random multiplayer game. There are two guys. Initially, there were three. I think one just like fell down the bridge. They are trying to get some kind of treasure, and yeah, they are setting the explosives.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I want to ask about, I know you guys are here at E3. Hey, look, it's the treasure. I know you guys are here at E3. What are some of the things that players can get their hands on at this event?
Well, we'll be showing some of the games that we created with the Islands game editor, but at the same time, we'll be showing how they can use the editor to create those games.
That's awesome. And I mean, I know there's a way for people to play right now, is that right?
Yeah, actually, they can already play the alpha version of the game. It's available as a part of our Bohemia incubator program. They can find more information on our website, islands.com. And later this year, we are coming to Steam Early Access.
That's awesome. And remember, that's islands.com with a Y. We're good. You can remember that. So I want to say, Alish, thank you so much for coming out to talk about Islands. It's been a pleasure. And of course, I hope you're as excited as I am to come up with some total nonsense when I sit down to play. Our next world exclusive is going to be up in the mezzanine with Sonia.
Thank you, Sean. I am so honored to be a part of this world exclusive reveal from developers Klei. You might recognize their name from games like Don't Starve or Don't Starve Together for lonely folk like myself. And last year at the PC Gaming Show, they actually revealed their sci-fi colony sim game, Oxygen Not Included. And this year they are back, and they are back with a bang. And I am so excited to reveal their upcoming sci-fi RPG game. It is called Griffland.
I absolutely love Klei games and can't wait the chance to try Grifflands. Now, this next title is an interesting one because I'm not someone who plays many VR games, but I got a chance to check this one out several months ago, and I was immediately hooked, so I can't wait to talk about it with the creative director from Ready at Dawn. It's Rue Virasuria to talk about Lone Echo. Welcome,
Hey,
Rue.
Thank you
It's
for
good to
having
have
me.
you here. Now, Rue.
Yeah.
I've gotten the chance to play Lone Echo, but a lot of people here maybe haven't seen it or heard of it. Just walk us through what is the game.
So the game, the Lone Echo, is a single-player experience in VR where you play a cybernetic AI on a mining station in the rings of Saturn, and basically in the game you're allowed to move in zero-G freely. You can interact with everything inside the environment, and also you'll see that you have an NPC that you can interact with. You can use your hands basically to go everywhere you need to go.
This was the thing that was so amazing for me. You stand still and then you use your arms to grab onto objects in the environment, to push and pull yourself around. And it was really amazing to move that way. I've never seen this before.
Exactly. I mean, that's basically where the genesis of the project was. We built the mechanic to build the game. So the mechanic was this idea that came from watching ISS space station astronauts, moving around. And we just basically made this motion that allows you to navigate using your hands just like you would use your legs.
So it's been a few months since I got the chance to play. What's been happening in terms of the single player? Here you got some fancy new voice actors lined up.
Yeah, we did actually. When we wrote the story for it, we actually had an actor in mind, somebody that a lot of people out there know, Troy Baker, and Troy decided to take on the role for the AI.
And of course, another thing that we get the chance to talk about is the multiplayer component to Lone Echo called Echo Arena. Rue, how does this game work?
Basically, it's a futuristic VR sport where you play, 10 people play in 2 different teams to get a disc inside each other's goals.
Now, you might be a little bit confused as to how exactly that works, but don't worry. We're going to take an even closer look at what the gameplay is like for Echo Arena.
In zero gravity, players fly faster. Passes go farther. Strikes hit harder. Stakes get higher. And victory tastes sweeter. This is Zero G in the Echo Arena.
Anomaly detected. What the hell? Jack, are you seeing? Jack, cut the panel. That's it. Jack!
We are up here with Echo Arena in action as some of the Ready at Dawn developers are playing against each other. So, Doug, welcome back. Hello.
Thank you.
It's awesome to have you. But listen, before we get into VR, I really wanted you to tell me a little bit more about the Grand Slam event.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I'm a big sports fan. So tennis, golf, rugby, they have their Grand Slam. Now we have it in esports. So with Intel, ESI, and DreamHack, we now have our Grand Slam, which is really exciting.
That's awesome. That's exciting. So I'd like to know a little bit more about Intel's involvement with this game.
You know, we've been involved working closely with the best VR developers for a long time, and I'm excited to work with Ready at Dawn as they're delivering the next second-generation VR game. They've been an ideal partner to enhance that experience to scale to the most performant CPUs like the i7 and i9.
That's amazing. So I was really excited to hear about your announcement earlier.
Yeah, Ready at Dawn, Intel, and Oculus, we announced that Intel is sponsoring a free release of Echo Arena to all Oculus Rift users when it launches on July 20th for limited time. And this is because we want as many users as possible on this system. We want to ensure that everyone, including these guys behind us, the gamers behind us as you see, that they try and experience the future of VR and esports.
So speaking of esports, I would really love to hear more about Intel's involvement with esports.
Intel has a long history as a leader in esports. We worked with companies like ESL for the Intel Extreme Masters. And we're excited about Echo Arena and the growth of VR esports. And that's why we're expanding our partnership with ESL and Oculus to launch the VR Challenge League. It kicks off in July, and it features Echo Arena and the Unspoken. And it gives esports enthusiasts the opportunity to compete in VR at key upcoming events, with the finals happening in Poland in 2018 at the Intel Extreme Masters.
Okay, well, that sounds kind of awesome. Well, thank you, Doug. I cannot wait to play this game. It's going to be coming out July 20th, and you can pre-order it right now, and Rift owners can actually try the open beta on June 23rd. So back to you, Sean.
Thank you, Sonia. And once again, I got the chance to play Lone Echo, and I want to stress, you just have to play it. The single-player experience is especially mind-blowing. So once again, that's Lone Echo. Our next guest announced